Hello everybody. I hope you can hear me. Um, my name is Samuel Olekama. This is a Google Live Hangout that was supposed to start by 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, American Eastern Standard Time. It's kind of early now. We have about 8 minutes. It's 1:52 p.m. now, so I'm just testing. I'm just starting, making sure that all the whole thing is fixed correctly, that you can hear me, that the microphone works, while we wait for a lot of people that sign up to show up. Just hang on with me while we are waiting for people to sign up online. This is a live Google Hangout. Bear with me. Thank you very much. We're gonna start maybe in a few more minutes. Meanwhile, if you have any question, feel free to ask me on the chat line. I'll be more than welcome to answer a few of them before the live Google Hangout starts. Okay. Like I said, this is a live Google Hangout. I'm gonna try to make this. It's slated for about 1.5 hours, but I'm trying to see if I can condense it to 1 hour. You know, and again, this is not scripted or it's not that scripted, analyzed or whatever. This is just what it meant to be. It's a hangout. It's my Google Hangout, and it's my opinion, and which I'm entitled to, like every other person is entitled to his or her own opinion. It's all about the main topic of the president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, and it's going to focus on some of the issues as I view them. That is, as it relates to my recent visit to Nigeria and what I've seen happening in the country. We still have about 5 more minutes before the time, and I guess everything seems to be working fine so far. In a very short few minutes, we're gonna roll. Yeah, I've been informed by my technical team that all is set. I have people viewing this from remote area to make sure that everything here went on as smoothly as possible. So I'm in a different area and I have my technician in a different area watching this remotely. They have confirmed that everything is good to go and they're viewing me as it's supposed to be. So still have about 3 more minutes before the appointed time or slated time. I'm gonna go. I have a little ball here that I used to, smooth with my hand. You may not see it over there, but I can see it from here. That's what I used to, get all the muscles of my hand and the impulse pulses and the nostrils to function properly. Anyway, I'm about to start. The topic is on if good luck Ebele Chukwu no go road na your mama or papa go road. This is a slang I use for this live hangout. It's a common slang used mainly in Nigeria. It's a little bit of a corrupt version of English language, but is commonly spoken and understood by people of West Africa, within that sub region. I hope people can hear me very well. So I'll try to speak a little bit louder so that it can be very clear to everybody watching this. So bear with me. So, like I was saying, this is not scripted. It's just an informal way, like one is talking with his friends, acquaintances, or associate. This is not a public forum. This is just my way of communicating with my friends. I have a couple of friends. Some of them are on the other side of the region. Some watching from every part of the world. And this is gonna be also available on YouTube for people to watch as time goes on. Like I said before, it is not scripted, and I didn't pick and choose my words or what I say or what not to, what to say. This is just my opinion as it comes to me at this point in time, or what I view as to my own point of angle based on what is happening in Nigeria. And I'm entitled to my opinion. I don't believe it's the best opinion out there. However, that's my own opinion. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for another person. People have different experiences and different perception, which they are entitled to, which I respect too, in as much as I do want them to respect my own opinion as well. But however, I'm here to speak mine. Again, my name is Samuel Olekama. I'm a Nigerian. I'm currently living in the United States of America, where I am doing this live Google Hangout. The topic of today is if good luck no go road, now na mama or papa go road. Like I stated before, it's a little bit corrupt version of spoken English language, spoken mainly by people in West Africa or Nigeria in particular. And before I proceed, I like rules in everything I do. I like orderliness. There's a lot of people here in this hangout listening. Some gonna listen it, some gonna to listen it from time to time, depending on how long you're gonna be available, or I will make it available on the public forum vis-a-vis YouTube. So, so it may be standing there for a while, long, even probably long before I'm gone, or long before Goodluck Jonathan has even been out from office again. It's gonna be there for the public to view and be able to judge what I mean, everybody's can be, subject to be criticized or applauded depending on what version. So I would like to say some rules. Rules. I like orderliness. Like I said, anything worth doing is worth doing very well. I like it to be, you know, in as much as I have a couple of people, hundreds probably, lined up that is watching this online. I don't want people, to think I'm disrespecting them in any way. So I would like to create some rules. There may be some question here coming up from the Hangout. I'll answer all questions after the Hangout, after I finish discussion. All questions you can pop it out later. If you ask me any question now, I can't be able to answer those questions for simple reason that if I do, I may be distracted from the main topic. I like to finish what I wanted to say prior to answering any of those questions, so that I'll remain focused, so that people that came here or who came to this hangout may get the true value of what they came here for, rather than me spending bulk of the time answering questions. I'm gonna try to make your time worthwhile. Mm, I'm gonna try. There is no guarantee in life, but I will do my best to make sure that this year, the time you spend watching this hangout, that is worth your time. Like I said, this is my own opinion. This is my personal opinion, and I would like you to accept it as my personal opinion and nothing more than my personal opinion, which I'm entitled to. And I'll also ask for your permission to allow me to be myself. Some people like other people. I've discovered this even most recently. People like other. Some people want people to behave in a certain way or to conform to certain norms, and beyond what the individual wanted to. So I will ask for your permission, if at all, to allow me to be me, to allow me to speak my mind, to let me speak it as I view it or as I deem it proper or necessary. I just want to, for your indulgence, to allow me to be myself without being somebody else. Some people spend most of their life, 90% bulk of their life, pretending to be what other people want them to be. I like to be myself, irrespective of how you may feel about it, and I'll ask you to allow me to be myself. And in as much as I would like to be myself, also allow me to use my language the way I deem it necessary. It may not conform to your standard of the English grammar, but allow it since it's coming from you. If you can understand it, if you even can't understand it, try to find out or ask people who do. They may be able to explain to you. Or if you ask me the question later, I can be able to answer that if you don't. So allow me to be myself. Allow me to speak freely my mind, and do not be too judgmental if I express my feeling the way I do, or if I use certain language the way you may not find it appropriate. So having said these norms and rules, and having promised you that I'm gonna be myself, and I'm gonna try to make this hangout on this particular topic. Remember, we are not here for something else. We are here about Goodluck Jonathan, who is a politician in Nigeria, and my own opinion as a citizen of that country on what is currently happening on that country. That is what is the topic of it, and bear that in mind so that we don't deviate or we start. You didn't come here for other thing other than this topic. So if we are here, you are here for that topic, and you wanted to listen or hear my own passion or my own story as to what is my opinion relating to this particular topic. Okay, so I think I have made it very clear. I have spoken in a way you could understand, and I have set the rules, I have set the norms, I have set the standards, I have stated the expectation, and I think we can now proceed. And one more thing that I will say before we proceed is I may speak in a certain language that you may not understand. I may speak certain comment I may make may be well expressed in a certain language. English is my second language, so do not be offended if eventually you didn't hear one or two stuff or some statement. The bulk of the thing may be in my vocabulary, which is Igbo language. So if you don't understand that language, I'll advise you ask somebody who do. If you send me a question or comment below something, then I'll explain. But I I would like, yeah, and don't just allow me to speak in that language, which is my native language, my first language, my most prominent language, my most spoken language, my most well understood language. And since bulk of the people listening to this are people of that particular territory or people who understood that language more, so I'm gonna spend most of that in that particular language. So I may be jumping from here to there, from English to there. So do not be offended. Okay. So Goodluck is the current president of the Nigeria. So today is July 4th. It's a holiday in the United States. It's a holiday well celebrated by in this country for a very unique reason. Uh, July 4th, which is similar to what is called October 1st in Nigeria, when Nigeria called the independence. It's a day that invokes a lot of passion and it means a lot of people. It has different meaning to different people at different points in time. So it's a very unique day. And that's the day I chose to do this. So, like I said, Goodluck is the president of Nigeria. He has been ruling for a while now. And there's a lot of issues as to surrounding him since he has been ruling. For that has been for a while. That's the first time southern part of Nigeria has been able to rule rule for a little for in a more period of time than Goodluck is ruling. So he has a lot of opposition and there's a lot of things going on there, and decided to make this my hangout as relates to why people are opposing his rule. I am not related to Goodluck Jonathan. Probably he does not know me. I am not defending Goodluck Jonathan. I do not speak for Goodluck Jonathan. I speak for myself. And I think I made it clear that this is all about my own opinion and nothing but my own opinion. However, I do see some similarities or certain things that is happening that I do not like, which I would like to be corrected in the sense that although fighting Goodluck Jonathan, you need to think twice or to seek a little bit advice from whoever may advise them, as to stop fighting or stop destruction of lives and property and come to the table for amicable solution for any problem. Because I believe that any problem worth solving has to be solved amicably in a gathering of one or two minds. So Goodluck has been ruling now, and he started ruling after. Again, I'm gonna make this like I said, it's not a scripted. I'm gonna just speak freely. You know, speaking freely in the sense that I'm gonna speak like a perception, a view, an ordinary view from an ordinary citizen, an average Joe. If they say this country is just like an average Joe, a perception of an average Joe, ordinary citizen. It's not like it's well or analyzed or scripted whatever one is doing. So again, I've spoken it several times because I know people gonna make judgmental view of this topic. People gonna try to criticize. People gonna try to blame me. I will create enemy because of this, in which it doesn't matter to me as long as I believe I'm speaking the truth and I'm speaking my mind. I don't have to please anybody. I don't have to. Nobody has ever pleased everybody. I don't think I'm trying to make an exception of being, pleasing every human being there. However, I'm gonna and I promised my own mind. I'm nothing but my own mind. So Goodluck has been ruling, and the Boko Haram has been fighting him for a while for some reason other than where he's not supposed to. And a lot of things has been happening. Even some politicians in this part of the world, you know, trying to say the opinion of something. Some of them don't even know what is going on. Nigeria is predominantly dominated by three ethnic indigenes: the Hausa, the Yoruba, and the Igbos. There is a lot of languages spoken, but this particular language, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, these three, is the most prominent spoken in the sense that spoken by the highest number of people. And so, Nigeria, the territory Nigeria is carved out, I believe around 1960. And it's official when Nigeria got the independence. It may have been carved out long before then, but that was the official date that eventually was carved out and named Niger area. It's named after, I believe, the prominent river that flowed within that country, which is River Niger, and they call it River Niger. Being is a Niger river, they say Niger area, Niger River area. So it's called Nigeria. Niger. It puts some of the words together to name the country Niger area, which means Nigeria, Niger River area. Okay. Prior to the independence, prior to that October 1st, 1960, when it was officially, there's people that fought for the independence like every other country. People gave up their lives, people sacrificed. I've been to different countries since my life. I've been able to. I was privileged to be in South Africa prior to the release of Nelson Mandela. I know what if I haven't read, I've seen somehow. People do give their lives for what they believe on. People die. People do die for the salvation of others, for the betterment of others. People give out a lot. People sacrifice their well-being so that other people can be liberated. It is a common norm. It's not an exception. It's everywhere. Even in the United States today, being July 4th, people do sacrifice for this freedom. So, so after the whole thing says and done, Nigeria was given independence, and later Zikiwe and co took the mantle. In my own opinion, that country is too diverse to be one particular country. In my own humble opinion, again, this is my own opinion, that country is not meant to be, it's not technically supposed to be a country, because there's a lot of differences. The Hausas, the Yorubas, and the Igbos, these people are, their way of life, culture, and everything is so much different. In this country that is United States, it so much works so well because there's not much too much friction on culture, so it's easy for policies to be implemented. In Nigeria, the differences is too much, not only but religion but cultural, and people are their culture. Environment plays a role in anything one has to do in life. uh, Environment plays a role. Your culture is you are your culture. Some people try to impose their own culture on other people's culture, which I don't think is fair. Some people want to eliminate other people's culture so that theirs can only be the only culture, which I think is unfair. So being that the Hausas have different total view of life, different mentality, different culture, likewise Yorubas, excuse me, different way of life, different culture, totally different from the Igbos. You know, if you are not, have not been aware so far till now, I am an Igbo man, and Igbo man has a total different culture. You know, this live Google Hangout it will not be even enough to scratch as to the differences between these three areas. Yet, they were merged for the sake of creating a country by the British Empire during the 1960s. Now, all said and done, it has been done. Most people that fought this, again, I'm not going to be into judgmental, but majority of the people that fought that independence or who fought for that independence were the Southerners or the people of my tribe, the Igbos, in the name of Azikiwe and Co. Because typically, again, this is what I understood. This is a story handed to me from generation to generation. This is based on books that I have read. And other tribes in particular were not ready in the sense that they were back for some reason they were backwards or they believe they have a system of government which doesn't need they're careless whether Nigeria is free from British rule or not. They have a structural government like the emir or kingship or whatever. So they're careless about the British rule. To them, they prefer the British to rule. Who sacrificed most for it? They studied. They are the educated ones during those days. This 96. By that time, I haven't been born. All these things was given to me by way of generation to generation and school or history or passed from one hand to other. So they have, after the independence, they got independence. Now, this statement I'm going to make now may provoke some people, but I'm going to anyway. Now, British people, British Empire, they colonized the imperialist British. Every, it's a capitalist, and they discovered oil in Nigeria, and they discovered not only but oil, other amenities in Nigeria, and everything an imperialist does is nothing but profit to themselves. Anything, if you read the history of imperialists, the agenda of the imperialists is just to devour and gain. It's all about their own personal gain. So I believe what happened is that when the imperialist British that colonized the country saw the landmark, saw the people, because they are smart people too. They are very clever. Why? Because they wanted something for their good. They want their own benefit. So they saw among the three tribes, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Hausas. They discovered that the Igbo man is a very smart man. And they discovered that Igbo man is clever and that if Igbo man is very industrious and that Igbo man is very ingenious. They discovered a lot of things about Igbo man, and because they know that Igbo man has all these qualities, Igbo, the tribe of that particular tribe, it created an enmity. You don't have to agree with me, but anytime somebody, based on history, anytime he always encounter friction because the world doesn't allow opposition. World likes something. Everybody likes something to go freely. Even I'm experiencing it myself here in this country. Anytime you find somebody trying to make a change in this world or bring a positive change or make some drastic change in a form of betterment, you always encounter restriction, it doesn't go easily. It always go with a fight. Why is that? I don't really know. And that is not the topic of this hangout. The topic of this hangout is that the way I put it, the British people discovered that Igbo man or that Igbo tribe is a very clever tribe, and that if given the opportunity, if given the opportunity, especially if I may put it this way, the Southerner, because when I call an Igbo, they dominate most southern part of the Nigeria. That if were given the opportunity, uh, they will not allow them to get most of the benefits of their imperialist aim of why they came to colonize, which is not again the purpose of this hangout. I'm not here to ascertain the justice or the merit of colonialism or not. What I'm here to say is that because of the cleverness and the uniqueness of this particular tribe, it created enemy for them among this imperialist power who dominated or who colonized this country, Nigeria. So what happened? The British imperialists decided to give it to the weakest tribe, a tribe that they can be able to dominate, a tribe that they can be able to manipulate, a tribe that can be a puppet to them. So they did that. Somebody sent me a message from this hangout, and that was a quick message, and I responded that immediately. So they gave it to the weaker tribes because, in my own opinion, if they give it to the Southerner or the Igbos, their their position will maybe compromised and may not stand. So and they decided to give it to the weakest part of it, weaker part of the country, so that they can still be able to influence. And actually, the way I read it, the way it was passed to me from books or whatever, the Hausa wasn't even interested in the independent. They didn't want. They never wanted the country to be, to be free. They will actually be forced by the British imperialists to come and rule, to allow that they to accept it so that they can be given the power. They care less as of that time because most of them didn't go to school. Anyway, all said and done, for the sake of time, I'm gonna cut it short. Eventually, the whole tribe came together. They started practicing, decentralized set of government. One, and divided into three sub-regions: East, West, and Southern. Eventually, was merged under democratic rule. Eventually, a lot of things happened. Most of the time, people that has been ruling that country has been one particular tribe, because usually there is no free election. There's no free and fair election in that part of the region. It has never been. It has always been the winner winning all. Once somebody is in power, it has always been a practice that he or she gives it to whoever he deems necessary. It matters not what you people vote at the polling station. The office in power or the party in power always decide when or whom they're going to hand over the power. So it's not a matter of giving a fair election. There is no free and fair election in Nigeria. And you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to accept that, but that is a fact for most people. It's always been a winner wins all. So because the Hausas and a few times the Yorubas have been dominating the government and the management of resources of that country, sometimes when something happened for a while, some people took it as it becomes their birthright because it has been happening for a while. All of a sudden, is now regarded as a birthright, which is not a birthright. And eventually they took it upon themselves as if that seat of government is for their own heritage or for them alone. And it has been so difficult for a Southerner to accept that him, that position of president of that particular country. Plus the powers that surround the political structure of the whole world, being the self that when people get a position, they try to solidify that position by giving out resources to the imperialist agent to help them to maintain their power. Those who understood what I'm saying know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into detail. What I'm saying is that there is power and there is forces in every country. It is not easy. It has never been easy. What you look is not usually what the way is supposed to be. So when people are usually in that power, they solidify their power by whatever means necessary just to keep on maintaining that power. So that has been what has been going on in a nutshell in the way I do understand it in that particular country. So one particular tribe has been dominating the presidential part of that country since they accepted the democratic rule as the means of government. So when Goodluck Jonathan came to power, by chance anyway, he didn't come to power, even it was disputed, he came to power because something happened. The president that he was advised to, died on sudden death. So that's one thing in life. Death has no respect. So when that president died, it becomes the mantleship of Goodluck to assume power. Even though it was fought, it was argued about, the same Hausa people, particular tribe, fought it in order tooth and nail to prevent it, but eventually Goodluck succeeded, being that he's the vice president then to take over the mantleship of the president of that country since uh, the president has officially been declared, late. So when he took over, the position did not stop. Then they started fighting him. Challenges increased. Goodluck did not come to me to complain, but I read newspaper. We saw issues happening on the street. We see arguments. We see bombings. We see all kinds of, which is normal. Some of them, nobody. I don't think any. I've never seen a ruler that rule without arguing. Opposition. Opposition is meant to. There's a purpose in opposition in every government. However, there's a rate of opposition that you can see the governing body or the governing party or the governing power cannot be able to function. There's a way opposition can be so much in power they will frustrate no matter what good intention the ruling party want to implement. So the Hausa, the Muslim part of the country, decided to make life miserable for Goodluck and his administration. They wanted to frustrate it. They wanted to do whatever to discredit him in the eyes of the whole world so that people can say, well, the Southern can rule or they cannot rule for one thing or the other. To some extent, it has an effect. Recently, I read a comment by former Secretary of State, Mrs. Clinton, talking about Goodluck's trying that issue, making a comment relating to Goodluck leadership that I don't think Mrs. Clinton has a true picture of what is happening in that country. He did not even when he was the Secretary of State, the issue surrounding the killing of 4 Americans in Benghazi, Libya, he cannot even handle it. So I don't think he stand a better judgment to be able to decide for Nigerians or for Goodluck how to rule their country. So these are some of the effects, some of the perception that's being bought by an outsider of what is happening in the country, which is totally contrary to the true picture of what is happening in that country. Goodluck has been going through a lot. He has gone through a lot. Like I said, he is not telling me his problem. I don't know him. He doesn't tell me. But somebody tell me, I can see what is going on. I read, if there's no day you read newspaper, you can't see some kind of mutiny and argument of all form, disagreement. I'm not even talking of the street bombing, lives and properties of being lost as a result of the situation in Nigeria. So it has been going. So my question is, if Goodluck, if Goodluck does, if they don't want Goodluck, who do they want to rule? That is the topic of this Google Hangout, like I stated it. If you don't want Goodluck to rule, who do you want to rule? Your own tribesman, the one who speaks your language, or the one who. What is it that Goodluck cannot do that your own people can do differently? For the first time I traveled to Nigeria last year, I saw a lot of difference in the southern part of that continent that were absent for a while. For example, for the first time, the international airport in Imo State was accorded. Now, for the first time, flight can go direct to the southern country from Enugu, southern part of the country, or Imo, which has never been happened for almost 30-something years. Now, if I want to travel, I don't have to go through Lagos or any other area. I have to go direct, very closer to my home, and take a local cab direct to my village or whatever, without going through the loop and hole or going to the big city and spending days outside before I can finally reach my destination. I'm not talking of the roads. I'm not talking of the amenities now for the first time being spread evenly among the country. So I wanted to use this avenue to educate the whole world as to what is happening so that people don't just make their own judgment or perception based on ignorance or based on biased, selfish agenda. Look at the big picture. What is the problem in Goodluck ruling? What is the issue? The man have sacrificed everything. His wife is doing everything. He's a true Christian. He hasn't enriched himself. Again, that doesn't mean he may not have one or two evil. Who doesn't? Who is a perfect man? Nobody. Jesus Christ did not even, when he was earth, he didn't please the whole world. Mandela could not even please. If you go to South Africa, Mandela still have a very number of people as an enemy that doesn't like him for some reason or another. In spite of the way he's being regarded as a saint by an outside world. Nobody is perfect. And nobody will ever be perfect. Human beings by nature can never be pleased 100%. 100%. Somebody has to argue. Somebody has issues for something. Even if you please them beyond everything, they'll still be arguing or issues for the side that they get whatever they get everything they want. They will create just like a typical Bible. You give them manna from heaven, they complain. You starve them, they complain. You give them meat, they complain. You don't give them, they complain. You open the rock and the stone to gush out water for them, they complain. You starve them so that they can thirst to death. There's nothing you do. People will not complain. It's an inherent nature. Man must complain. Okay. So I've reached almost about I believe 35 minutes of this speech. I'm trying to get my opinion out there as to what is happening in Nigeria. Why people should give Goodluck Jonathan a chance to govern that country, or even if he didn't want to rule again, so be it. Why not? From 1960 to this time, how many years? How many times have the Sultana ruled? Why can't the Sultana be given more time to try to get the infrastructure balanced or to make that place a little bit better in their own version? I mean, the other part of the region has their privileges, had their own time to please their own people. Why can't the Sultana have that time to please his own people, if I may deem it that way? even though I don't think that per se what Goodluck is doing. All of them claim to be doing everything for the whole country, even though we know that there's more benefit that will come to you or to your area when your own one is in power, which is normal. It's normal. It has been there from ages, from biblical. Abraham will take care of his own seed. Isaac will take care of his own. Jacob will do the same. Every species on this life try to protect their own species or their offerings. It's nature. It's nature. So this is in a nutshell my own version, my own input, my own sense in this topic, my own widow's might. People should, especially the people that are killing lives, abducting female girls in exchange of gaining political, and for people that sympathize with them and try to give them accolades and support. My mother used to say one proverb. There's a proverb that mother used to say that it doesn't pain him that somebody is fighting him or her. Or that what pains her most is somebody staying behind and saying, "Go on, fight her, do this, do that." The issue is not about the people killing or the ignorant people doing all kind of violence. My issue is with the people that support them and back them, that feeds them, that supply them with those money and arm them with old money to be able to carry out those mayhem and destruction. To them, they are ignorant. I know what ignorance can do. They don't know what they are doing. It's people that were feeding them that should be targeted. People, somebody is supporting them somewhere. Big power, big government, big influence is behind this. It wasn't about Boko Haram. Who is Boko Haram? There is a power, even outside that country, that is engineering this destruction, that doesn't want that country to be united. um, we are not kids. We are not children. Someone say we are not children. We have not been children. What Goodluck is going through, only God knows. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. So I just want, if I have any advice, if I have any comment, if I have any say to Goodluck, I will tell him to Jishike. One Jishike, o turn ade. Gị na asị nze gịnị fọrọ adịghị ụmụnna dị mma. Jishike nwanna. Anyị nọgụ n'ukwu. Anyị sọpọtụrụ gị. Ndị sọpọtụrụ gị karịrị akarị, even karịa ka ị mara, ma ndị ebe unu ma ndị be anyị. Jishike nwanne, na-eme ihe mara mma. Anyị hụrụ aka ọrụ gị. Onye nwe anyị ga-agọzi gị, and onye nwe anyị ga-enyere gị aka. Ihe ọbụla ị na-eme, Chukwu ga-agọzi, because onye Chineke ji ihe niile, onye ya na Chineke kwụ, enweghị ụjọ anaghị atụ ya. So abịala na awa ọrịa, anyị maghị ihe gaga na, anyị hụrụ politiks gaga na, ma ndị lụsịka aga ọgụ, ma ndị chọga ka etigbuo gbuzegbuo. Iji amara, jiri udo, jiri akọ na uche na-eso ha. Onye asị jiri ka o ji dị mma. Ama m ịnụga ihe ndị a m sụgaba, ma ọrụ m ịnụga ahịa ya, ndị nụghị ya ga-akọrụrụ ugwu, ndị nụghị ya gị na ha nọ n'ọchịchị ga-anụ ihe a, ha ejiri aka ha kọrọ ure gị ka ị mara that time hụrụ aka ọnụ gụ si jishi ike nwanne m. I wish m na gị ga-ahụ m agwa gị one or two comment, but ụtọ na-adịgịdị just were ke m kwuge here. Anyị ma ihe megana nkwukwu emekwuo ya ọzọ. Anyị hụrụ ga ihe gagana, ọ dịghị mfe, bet jishi ike ihe imege. You make it here for this generation, or even for the generation to come. Ọ ga ndị ga-ahụ aka ọrụ gị wee kelee gị, kelee Chineke mụrụ gị, kelee afọ mụrụ gị, maka mbọ niile na-agba iji zọpụta obodo ahụ. Chukwu ga-agọzi gị. For those who don't hear this language, I believe you will you ask those that hear and understand it, they will explain it to you. And that is a nutshell. I believe I've concluded this hangout. If anybody else have a question popping out on this thing, feel free. I have few that come in my text message on my phone. I'm gonna try and answer them while we still have the live hangout going on. If anybody have a question, feel free to ask me. While we have this thing, I will give it a few more minutes. If nobody asks a question, I will conclude this hangout. I believe I have served the purpose of which this hangout is meant to be. Like I said, I will make it meaningful. The topic of which the hangout or the title has been well elaborated and explained in a nutshell. If it's still missing some lacks or some other facts, feel free to email me or make a comment below this video, and I'll be more than welcome to explain. Like I stated in the beginning of this hangout, it is a personal opinion and it remains my personal opinion, which I'm entitled to. I'm not quoting anybody. I'm not referencing anybody. I do not represent Goodluck Jonathan. I believe I have a question here. I do not represent Goodluck Jonathan. I did not seek permission to represent him, and nothing was granted to represent him. This is only but my opinion, and I'd like you to take it that way. The question has been addressed please, if you do ask a question, ask something relating to this particular topic. This hangout is not about me. Somebody was asking me if I'm trying to run for the president. That was not the main topic. The topic is about Goodluck and why people shouldn't, give him opportunity to govern. If I'm trying to run for political post, people will know and you see it out and respond. But in this particular instance, this particular Google handle, that is not the topic. So let us not deviate. So I've completed my aim, my intention in this Google Hangout. I believe I've delivered the promise that I made on this topic. Like I said it before, this is not a final say on the issue. If you have any other thing to add to this, feel free. It's a free word. I am open to criticism of any kind, and I'm also accept blame for my responsibility of what I failed to do. So I don't claim to be an authority in this area. However, it's my personal opinion, and I've made it clear. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your indulgence. I wish you peace in everything you do. Take care.